Good evening, esteemed viewers. This is Fine TV Gambia, your only viewpoint, and I'm your host, Raki Jallo. This is your favorite program, is on educational development. And today, in commemoration of International Women's Day, we decided to bring you a gentleman. He's sitting next right to me here, and I will let him introduce himself soonest. Good evening, mister. How are you?
Thank you very much. Greetings to the beautiful audience down there. I am so much delighted to be here. As rightly put, my name is Omar Cham, commonly called Omar Champion Cham, and so much honored to be here. But before we get into the program proper, I want to take this opportunity to wish all the beautiful women out there a happy International Women's Day.
Thank
Keep
you.
showering and keep doing your best.
Thank you. Mr. Cham, we're happy to have you on our platform.
It's a
I believe
pleasure.
this is your first time to be on this platform,
So,
Fine TV Gambia. I would like to ask you whether you are from a literary background. Your background, do you come from a literary family?
thank you very much. When it comes to Western education, my mom actually did not pursue that. However, my dad did, but he studied French. So I think when it comes to that perspective, if that's what we refer to as the literary background, yeah, basically that is where I come from. I think I'm the first person in my family to undergo university education.
Good, that's a plus. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What writers do you enjoy reading as a writer
As
and
a
as a
writer,
poet? Yes.
I think basically Africa's greatest, I think, Chinua Achebe, of course. I enjoy, reading his stuff, and Nana Gray Johnson as well
Okay.
has been doing great. I really enjoy reading his stuff.
When did you start writing poetry, Mr. Cham?
I started writing poetry in primary school, but then it was not something I was doing single-handedly as myself.
Okay.
But because I had teachers there that were guiding me, and most of the time they were the ones that would complete the writing of these pieces. So I would just start and they complete, or they start and then I complete.
Okay.
But my writing proper started in high school, like where I could say I was writing my own poems by myself.
Okay.
Through the competitions, or through my just fun moments, and I write my own poems.
So I can say you derive your inspiration from there.
Yes,
Okay. So do you find writing easy as an art?
yeah, I find it easy, less challenging, but this also has a limitation. It depends on the circumstances under which you're writing. For example, if you do not have any pressure mounting on you in terms of deadlines, for example, if you're told to write something before Saturday, when you have a lot of things to do, it becomes uneasy at that time.
So,
Or you want to write on a particular topic, but the mood you're in does not relate to that topic. In that circumstance, it doesn't become easy.
okay.
Yeah.
So then you can say you have challenges, right?
Uh,
Can you
yeah,
tell us some
in
of
terms
your
of
challenges?
the writing.
Yes, poetry. In poetry.
Oh, in poetry,
Yes.
I think the challenges that we face is basically those that come from outside, like financial challenges when you're supposed to do things that we are not supposed to do. But internally, I don't see any challenge between me and poetry in itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Describe your normal working day as a poet.
As a poet,
Yes. What do you do?
yeah, I think on a regular basis, I write, but there is no amount of time that is attached to how much I could spend or how much minutes I could spend on writing. It just depends on if I have a performance coming, then I write on them, or if I have an event coming, then I write on them or rehearse them,
Okay.
or if I have other engagements that have to do with the poetry itself,
Yes.
like going to schools to engage the students, etc. Yeah.
Okay. Do you do research as a poet? Do you do any research work to
Yeah, yeah,
write your
we
poetry?
yeah we do research. Basically, if we're supposed to write on a particular topic that we don't have much idea on, especially topics that are outside our field, we definitely do researches on them so that we ensure that what we're giving to the public are things that they can consume. Yeah.
Um, how do your poems develop? Step by step, like the stages of development of your
Okay,
poetry.
of my poems.
Yeah.
So I normally, first of all, I normally do my draft. Like when I want to write a particular poem, after identifying the topic, I do my draft,
Okay.
and then upon the drafting, I do a review of that draft. Then I do an edit of it.
Okay.
Then I sometimes I will bring it to the people's notice to consult and ask if how they feel about the piece and so on.
Yeah.
And then I do the painting period, and then I'm good.
Okay.
Then if it's gonna involve performance, then I would do the mastering, and I would practice,
Okay.
rehearse, then perform.
Rehearse. Yeah.
Mhm.
That will lead us to the next question. That is, do you show your work in progress to anyone? Like when
Yeah,
you're writing your poems.
yeah, I do a lot of that. Most of the poems before I perform them, I make sure that my friends, or close allies, okay, actually have a look at them or allow me to, recite it in their ears before I'm able to take them out. Mhm.
How do you fit writing your poems into your busy schedule?
It could be challenging sometimes, because a lot of things are going on at the same time.
Yeah.
But writing is also something that is very important to me. So usually I do it, if I'm too busy, I usually do it at night before I go to bed. Or when I wake up early in the morning before I get into other engagements. But sometimes it could be difficult.
Can you tell us who your favorite poets are?
My favorite poets, I have a couple of them. But I want to say at this point, the poet I enjoy the most is Portia. Portia is an American spoken word artist. I really love listening to her pieces. She's good.
And he's your favorite poet.
She is so far.
She is your favorite poet alive.
Yes,
Do you have
yes.
any poet that is your favorite and is dead?
Yeah,
Or
Landry
late?
Peters. Landry Peters.
Okay.
Yeah, may his soul rest in
Rest in
peace.
perfect peace. Tell us some of the books that you derive inspiration from, if you have any.
The books I derive inspiration from. Okay, there's this book I read. It's actually legally related.
Okay.
It's called it if it's eating people wrong, like a very crazy title, but it has a lot of wisdom in it.
What's the title again?
It's eating people wrong.
Eating people wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
You might want to read it. It's a very fantastic book.
Okay.
And maybe then from the religious scriptures, the Quran, for example, it gives me a lot of inspiration, especially its verses and how they brought in together.
Okay. Are there any books that you don't like reading? You don't enjoy reading at all?
Not at all. I don't think there's any book that I would not like reading. I've not read also any book that I hate reading,
Okay.
except maybe during examination periods, and I was in the mood to read. I only read because I want to pass. Yeah, in that circumstance, I would not like to read them.
Then I would say you hate reading notes.
Yeah. Like, actually, I don't hate reading notes, but
Okay.
I hate reading a lot of things during exams.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you get started? How do you first publish your work, like your
Okay.
published materials? Have you published anything?
Yeah. I've been publishing. I think the first publication that I did was the performances I was doing when I started doing poetry.
Okay.
But the formal one was in 2014 when we had 15 of us young poets brought together to write a poem called an anthology of poems, a harvest of Gambian lines, where we published about 200 poems in partnership with Global Hands Publications. Yeah.
Have you ever had a work that was rejected by your audience?
No, fortunately, I've never had anything like that. I think all of the works that I've done have been appreciated widely by my audience. It couldn't be a guarantee that all of them 100% would love it, but it has never been brought to my notice that a particular work is not liked or so.
Can you give an advice to anyone wanting to write or publish poetry?
Yeah, my advice for you is everybody in this world has a chance of becoming one of the best writers. It is a matter of putting up your effort, your commitment, and ensuring that whatever you have inside you is said outside. Let the entire world know what you're feeling. But most importantly, write. The first step in becoming a writer is by writing. And write and write and write, practice and practice, but also open up to ideas and thoughts from outside. Don't hate criticism. It's part of the art. If you don't listen to people and take their advices, it means you're going to find yourself, drowned somewhere.
I like that about that.
Yeah, so
criticism is what will drive you. It is the driving force.
definitely.
Yeah. In addition to your written poetry, Mr. Cham, you also do video clips because I've seen one on TV. There's a video clip of you about coronavirus that I saw. So how do you do that? What's the process?
Yeah, video clips are part of they're part of my art, they're part of my craft, basically. I do them as part of my spoken word, engagements. They're very fundamental because it is through these videos you portray the things that you say in your audios. So what we normally do is we go to the studio, record the audios, use them as a background, and then shoot these videos based on the location that are much more relevant, and we get them released.
That's the process that it takes.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you enjoy promoting your poetry and meeting your fans? Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, I enjoy that. Especially meeting my fans. Like it is usually a very delightful moment because some of them they idolize you so much so that when you meet them, they see it as a very big fulfillment in their lives.
Yeah.
And some of them would think maybe it will be, they might find it difficult, to approach you, but
Yeah.
then it appears so easy to them.
Yeah.
So that alone is a big plus as far as I'm concerned in the art.
So because I'm also one of your fans,
Oh,
and I
thank
got to
you.
meet you today.
Thank you.
That takes us to another level of the discussion. That is, you have an upcoming program coming, your
Yeah.
album launch.
Yeah.
That is before the win, right?
Yes, before the win.
Yeah, before the win. It's upcoming. It's slated for the 12th.
Mhm.
I would like you to buttress more on that, to say a lot about it.
Yeah, so the Before the Win Poetry album
Mhm.
is the big event right now that the whole country is talking about.
Yeah.
And in fact, one of the reasons why we seated here today is basically the launching of 25 spoken word poems that are going to be officially published at the Penchami Hall on the 12th March at 5 p.m. Courtesy of myself as the author and the poet behind this work, but also on the delightful coordination of the Cham Poetry team.
Yeah.
So fortunately, the tickets are already out. $200 for advance, 400 gate, and 700 VIP. So that is entirely what the event is going to be about. But also featuring poets, comedians, and top artists that are in the Gambia that will be gracing the occasion.
That's a good development. So, what do we expect on the big day?
We'll be expect a lot of magic, a lot of fire, a lot of extraordinary things because nothing normal is going to be seen. Everything is going to be extraordinary. There'll be a lot of creativity on stage, a lot of innovation, and a lot of different ways that are going to be taken to advocate for change and also to entertain people.
So, what advice would you give to the students that are watching?
To the students, first of all, make sure that you know what you want. Don't be a student that would want A today and tomorrow want Z, whilst already there has been efforts put in A. So do a self-evaluation for yourself and know where your strength lies and then follow that path. On top of that, pursue your goals. Let nothing or no one stop you from becoming what you want to become. Because as a student, you're there to learn. You're not there to set the pace. Actually, you're there to observe how the pace is, and from there you can use it as a background to set your own pace.
As a
Also,
reference.
yes, as a reference, and also be willing to listen to elders, your teachers, your parents, everybody, because they are more experienced than you. Doesn't mean you copy and paste everything, but sometimes just listen to them and use it as part of the ingredients in your journey.
Yeah. Let them listen very attentively to
Mhm.
their teachers. So, on a final note, Mr. Cham, what advice would you give to the general public pertaining to your program?
Yeah. The first advice is 5 p.m. means 5 p.m. So don't be late. There's nothing like Gambian time. Make sure that at 5 p.m. you're at the program because even if you don't come at 5 p.m., the program is going to start. And if you had paid, for example, 700 for your VIP, it means you're already losing your first $200 because you're missing a part of the event. So advise you all to get set, come there early, occupy the front seats, and enjoy a program. Make sure that like when you come, you eat because if not, the greatness of the event might make you to forget to take dinner when you go back home, which is risky. So see you all on Saturday, inshallah.
Yeah. On a final note, what is your final remark
Yes,
to your esteemed viewers?
my final remark to all of you is I'm so happy to be here and I'm so delighted that you tuned in to watch this important program. Um, you'll be having more of this, I know, from this platform, but also you'll be seeing Omar Champion Cham more, inshallah. Um, let's meet on Saturday at Penchami Hall, and then you will know what the next appointment will be, inshallah. Thank
It's
you.
been good having you, Mr. Cham.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you on our platform. And viewers, that is from us for now. Till we meet again on Tuesday. I've been your host, Raki Jallo, and it's a goodbye from me.